auto, business insurance.
Welcome to Insurance is Sexy with Dakota and Terry.
We are back
Again.
That's what's up. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Terry, I guess.
Oh, wait, we did that wrong?
Yeah.
All right. I'll be Terry. She can be Dakota.
I'll be
today.
Dakota.
I like that.
Just for today.
You like the best Dakota I ever knew.
Aww.
You know?
Do you know any other Dakotas?
Is that important?
Not the other Dakotas, no.
No, not the other Dakotas. None of them.
No,
really.
none of them.
I don't know that I do. I wonder. I had to think about that. I'll
Okay.
get back to you on that one.
All right.
But you are by far the best Dakota I know.
Thank
I
you,
am
Terry.
confident in that. So today we got a great show for you. We got some really important information. We got the word of the day coming up. We got the education piece.
Yes.
It's gonna be cool.
That's going to be good.
I'm really excited about that. Got a great leadership lesson that my dad taught me years ago.
That I completely agree with.
Yes, it's good advice,
Yes.
right? And you follow it.
Yes.
And then we got a story. Now, today,
Uh-huh.
the whole show,
Yes.
you already know what's going to happen. How you feel about that?
I'm good. I like it. And the best part is we're going to do it in, from this point, probably 26 minutes, right, Terry?
26 minutes and
Let's
46 seconds.
That's it.
We
Let's
gotta
go.
move. We
Let's
got
go.
stuff to do.
All right.
All right, so let's hit the word of the day. I got to, if we were really on top of this, I might have bookmarked this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's my word, people.
Buckle up.
Right.
Terry gets another turn, people.
This is it.
All right.
At some point, we're going to stop letting Terry have a turn with the word
No.
of the day.
No. I like when Terry turns because he usually do like this.
That's it. But today, we thought about it.
We
in
thought about
advance,
it and
right?
you picked a good one.
We picked a good one
You
yesterday.
did. Yesterday.
Yes. So we have it all planned out for you.
All right.
It's a big word, short, but a big word. The word is indemnity, right? So you might see it as indemnify, right? You might see
I
it
can
as
see that.
indemnifying. It's a very big word in the legal jargon and in the insurance space. So let me tell you what indemnity means. Principle of insurance that provides that when a loss occurs, the insured should be restored to the approximate financial condition he occupied before the loss occurred. No better and no worse.
Okay.
Indemnity.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Sometimes we can do that.
It choked me up.
You like so sad about this
It choked
indemnity?
me up.
You're like, whoa.
Do you want me to give you a simple, like a synopsis, like 2 words that can sum that definition up?
Yes, please.
What indemnity does is it makes the client whole.
Yeah, it makes them whole.
That's it.
But no better,
No better.
no worse.
No worse.
No better, no worse.
No better. No worse.
So don't be coming in here like you got a little scratch on your roof talking about I
Right.
need my whole roof repaired.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
That's not a thing. I
That's-
got a little
that-
fender bender.
No.
Not redoing the whole engine of your car.
Yes.
Right? You don't end up winning when
Yes.
something goes wrong.
You don't end up gaining from your insurance loss, if that makes sense.
that's
You
it.
don't gain from, but you also shouldn't lose from.
I think that's good. And I hope
That's
that
fair.
clears it up.
That's the contract that the insurance company has with each insured.
hmm
Period. On all types of policies.
That's right.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of people will be like, yeah, I want this to happen so I can get all this better stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it happens.
You can't do that.
Sorry, it's just the way it is.
Because you know the slippery slope that occurs when people feel that way or think that that's the way it should happen.
Yeah.
What do you think? The slippery slope.
The slippery slope. Oh, people be coming at you. I bet.
No, you didn't follow me.
This is the best Dakota ever. Oh, the slippery slope.
The slippery slope is
This is a dog
insurance
bite
fraud.
joke? Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yes.
I wonder if that might have been in the book too, and we might have glossed right over that.
We might. It's our word.
It's an I word, right? We're in the eyes.
We're in the eyes.
We're in the eyes. So
Maybe it'll be an F. Oh no, we already did F.
yeah, we
Jamie going backwards.
Look,
No worries.
We had our own special F word that time.
No
people.
worries.
You can see that 3 episodes ago.
Yeah. So his word of the day leads to the educational piece. So what we're gonna talk about is the steps that the insurance company takes to make a client whole when they actually have a loss. Like what happens from start to finish, or kind of the meat in between, because most of the time you either hear about, oh, I had a claim, but you don't know what happened at the end, especially here on the agency side. We don't necessarily know every phase of it because we're not involved in every step.
That's true.
So I'm gonna give you a typical something, random, something that actually could happen. So let's say if a client calls in, they got in an accident, and they call us, hopefully not from the scene of the accident like some people do. I ain't gonna say whoever has ever done that, called and we get an ambulance, the police in the background, the street, the traffic still going. Please get off the phone, handle the situation at the site, and then please call us once you leave the scene. That's perfect. It's no problem.
It's not a rush, people.
It's not a rush.
It's not a rush.
This is not a race.
No.
This is gonna be a marathon.
No, there's gonna be a thing you need to do.
Yes.
But you don't need to do it
But
first.
you don't need it right from the scene. So the client should call their agent or insurance company. In our case, we want to hear from the client. Here at the agency, we gather all the details of the facts of the loss, and then we report it to the insurance company, and then the process kind of starts from there. So who was driving? What vehicle were you driving? What date did it happen? What time did it happen? Who was all in the vehicle? What are the facts? What street were you on? Just kind of like your synopsis of what happens. The most important information that most people never have that comes on the police report side of it is who was the other people involved? What are their name? What is their driver's license number? What insurance company are they with? So that's why the police report at the scene of a loss is important, because the police gathers all that personal information and it gets compiled on the police report. Sometimes people don't call the police to the scene of the crime, which can kind of work against them.
That makes sense.
Because then it becomes a he say, she say.
And the police are unbiased in that situation.
They are completely.
They're just gathering the facts and the details.
They completely unbiased, but your insurance company will always be your advocate. They will always back your version of the story. So let's say if me and Terry were involved in an accident, but I say Terry hit me, and Terry's like, no, Dakota hit me.
Smashed me into a roundabout. It was a horrible situation.
But there is actually no evidence to support that, because let's say the way your car is damaged and the way my car, they really can't tell like how the impact was and stuff like that. My insurance company will back me.
Okay.
It's my word against yours. You have to disprove what I've told them.
That makes sense.
And that's how it works.
And the other thing about the police being there is they're unemotional.
Yes.
Right? Accidents are a very trying time for folks, right? They get all stressed out, rightly so. The police, they see this stuff all the time. Most of us only get in one accident every 6 to 10 years. Some more than that.
Ooh, I've gotten in more than one accident between 6 and 10 years, but none in the last 16 years. Can you believe this, people?
No.
I've not gotten one accident in the last 16 years.
Why would you say that out loud?
Because I got favor on my side. It don't matter. I got favor on my side.
The lady's blessed. What are you gonna do?
Exactly. I got favor on my side. So so you get the police report, you do all that. So another thing is if it's the auto accident, you always want to worry about injuries. Am I really hurt? Because a lot of people just be in shock at the scene. The impact of the crash, you could be hurt after the fact. You might need to go seek medical attention after the fact. It doesn't necessarily mean the ambulance needs to physically take you from the scene and go to the hospital. So you need to worry, you need to be a little bit more diligent than normal of things that might happen the few following days after. You get lightheaded, your equilibrium might be feeling, it could be a whole bunch of stuff, especially internal stuff. You never know really what's going on.
Blurry vision, your neck start
anything.
Hurting.
I say if you feel, if it's not literally a very, very small, boop, a tap, I say go get checked out. Me personally. Even if you were the cause of the accident, your insurance policy covers your medical, what happened to you. So I say that's just my personal opinion about it. Okay, so the accident's over, you got the police report, you done already called your insurance company. Next thing, the next person you go hear from is the adjuster from the insurance carrier. Who's the adjuster? The adjuster is the person that's gonna walk you through stage by stage of the actual claims process. They gonna gather more details from you. It might be personal. It might be if you need to be off work. They're gonna ask you a lot of questions about that. Where do you work? What do you do at work? What's your restrictions? If you seeking work loss, they want to know how much do you get paid. Do you got a commission job? Do you got an hourly job? Do you got a salary job? They might ask you, especially if you got a lot of, if there were passengers in the car, that could be an issue with the new PIP law.
Okay.
So that could be an issue, like who are the passengers in the vehicle? How's that going to impact you as well?
And how are they feeling? And how's their health and wellness?
So it's a lot of steps. Let's just say it's just a little smash and no medical is involved, and they only need to do your vehicle. After the adjuster reaches out to you, you got a lot of options. When we first filed a claim, if that accident makes it where you can't have a vehicle because let's say it got towed from the scene, they'll get you a rental right away if you have the rental coverage on your policy.
If you have the rental.
Because it's an elected coverage, it's not something that's standard. They'll get you in a rental. They'll automatically get the vehicle, maybe taken out of impound, taken right to the body shop for you. The adjuster will go out and inspect the vehicle. A lot of people don't really understand, like, why does the adjuster have to physically see your vehicle to start to actually give you any payout or whatever? They have to assess the damage. Some carriers have those apps where you can physically take photos, and then the software that they're using, of course, is enhancing those photos. It can kind of get in it. They use trusted, what do they call them? Referring partners, like
the body shop?
The body shop.
Right.
They'll use they're basically like they're trusted partners. They know if the vehicle is at this particular shop, they trust the estimate and photos that they're sending them. And sometimes the adjuster doesn't have to come out.
And they've done a lot of work with them to build up that trust, right?
Exactly.
Nobody's doing that on the first time.
No, not on the first time. And it's a lot of steps that they got to do. It's like they getting authorized to do that. That's what it's called, an authorized dealer. That's exactly what it's called. So that's another thing. If you want some of your claims expedited, ask your insurance carrier or your agent, are there any authorized dealers I can take this to? The process might go a little bit faster. So now your vehicle is at the body shop. They looking at it, they got the estimate, and boom, they say, okay, we see XYZ, these are the damages that need to go. They should be coming back to the client saying, this is what we found, this is what we will do, this is the cost of it, and this is what we will pay. At this point, this is where I think a lot of clients get dissatisfied with, and they don't know that they have a rebuttal to it. If for any reason the adjuster comes back with something and you don't agree with it, you can disagree with it, but you have to give them a counter. You have to be saying like, oh, but what about this, or this, especially if it's in a total loss. I feel like people fuss a lot about total losses on vehicles that they actually own. So to get back whole, let's say you own a car already. To get back whole is not to get you a 2021 Cadillac Escalade, but the one that you just totaled was a 2010 Cadillac Escalade. That's not whole.
That's whole plus.
Exactly. That's not whole. They will give you the value and replacement to get another 2010 Cadillac Escalade with the same mileage, the same wear, the same trims, the same whatever. And I think what some people don't realize that when they give them that, this is what we feel the value is that if you come back to the adjuster with, let's say, a few saying, no, this is really the fair market value, I found this car to be bought, they take that into consideration. All the time they make consignments to bring that up so they can make you back whole.
Yeah, so you can appeal that process.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
But I feel like clients feel like it's out of their control and they don't have any place to go.
And that's a tough thing, right? Especially if you're sitting there with no car and you're like, someone's going to offer you a check to be able to go get a new car.
Right.
You're like inclined to maybe take that.
Right.
But what Dakota's saying is you don't necessarily have to take their first offer, but you have to provide some level of proof that's going to persuade them to see your side. To see your side
of it and increase it in a favor of making you whole. Versus if they saying, I'm just throwing numbers, it's saying they only want to give you $10,000, but you're saying like, no, a vehicle for me to purchase today, same year of the old one, same year, same model, same mileage, will cost $13,100. You need to show them that, and not just the one you found that your cousin's selling. No, you need to find similar like other dealerships, whatever, and not you live in Michigan, but you're saying this is what this car costs in California. We talking about your market where you are, stuff like that.
That's important.
So we almost done. So let's say we in that process. Oh, another thing, when it's a total loss or something in that situation, there might be, let's say you don't own a car, but you have a loan on something that's a total loss. we start getting into the gap coverage
Gap
category.
coverage. Ooh.
You can personally have gap coverage on your own, which you were paying through the financing with that loan, or some higher end carriers actually offer it on your policy. You might not even know about it that you were paying for, or you might have been paying a couple extra dollars a month just to have it. So always look into that. Is there any gap coverage? Is there other?
Define gap coverage, because I don't think everybody knows what that means.
Okay, so gap coverage is the value of the vehicle itself versus the loan amount that you actually have. Like, what is that gap between the value of the vehicle and the loan you have on the vehicle, or to have it paid off? And what that does is you would be creating a new claim with the gap company to cover that difference. So you'll have one payout for the value of the vehicle, and you'll have another claim for the gap of the vehicle and then the loan amount.
Well, and this is really important, people, because everybody knows that the moment you drive that brand spanking new car off the lot, it depreciates thousands of dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
You paid X for it 5 minutes ago, now it's worth X minus $2,000.
Yep.
Wait till tomorrow, it gets even worse. So
Yep.
the gap coverage is absolutely worth understanding, and a great point.
Yep. So in this case, let's use this. It's a total loss. You didn't made an agreement. You know, you like, yes, I want that amount. They issue your check. They'll take care of writing off the other vehicle for you. You hand over the title to them, because now the insurance company owns your vehicle. Write over the title to them. They give you a check. You on your way. You go get your new car. Woo! And guess what the last piece is? You call your insurance company and tell them, I have a new car that I need to get insured.
That's right.
Exactly.
And they probably still accept you, even though you just had a claim on your car.
Exactly. That's all you need to do. I think one thing that people don't realize is that from the time that you have the accident until you get a new replacement vehicle, the actual agency, we don't have any idea what's going on in between that timeline. We need you to tell us either I didn't replace the car, I got a new car. And from the time, the day after the loss, the coverage on the car that was totaled or you got rid of actually just gets deleted.
It's just gone.
The day after the loss. It covers you up until the day.
Okay.
But you want to keep it on the entire time of the claim, because what if you are in a rental car? The coverage you had on that car gets automatically transferred over to the rental. So,
Ooh, that's very cool.
Right.
And the process that you just outlined is very similar. Let's say if a storm rips through and a tree branch falls on the house, the adjuster comes out. You still got to call the agency, talk to them, right? The adjuster comes out, does the evaluation. They figure out what they're going to pay for, right? They're not going to make you better than you were, but not worse than you were, right? They're going to figure out how to make you whole.
They're going to try to figure out a way to just make you whole, get you back in the same position that you were in. No more, but no less.
You brought up something that I think is important. I think that when they do get the final judgment from the insurance company, and if it is a total loss, they need to make sure to let us know that.
Yes.
Because a lot of the carriers, I don't know if it's across the board, but I think it might be across the board, that they won't remove the vehicle themselves.
They can't.
Owner, they can't do it. The owner has to, and we won't know necessarily if it
even
has come
if we get notified of that it's a total loss, we actually initiate the conversation. But just the notification, the only person that can cancel, change, revise your policy is you, the policy owner.
Yeah, so do not assume that it is that it's taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, just
because
we can't physically, we can't do it.
No, we can't do it.
And Jamie adding value again.
She always adding value.
I'm just talking about stuff I run into all the time.
I think that just leads back to clear communication. Just us communicating to you what we know, and you communicating to us what you know, and that's it.
Yeah. If I get a letter from an insurance company that I see that comes through the mail that says, "Hey, this was a total loss," I will actually call the client and say, you want me to go ahead and remove this or have this removed.
Yes.
But they don't all send letters.
No, they all don't. So it's kind of a two-way street. If we know, we'll reach out to you. Once you know, reach out to us.
Well, and you said something earlier that I think bears repeating, and that is your insurance company is on your side.
Yes.
Right? So help us help you.
Yep.
It's important. All right. Anything else you want to talk about how that works?
No, because we got 8 minutes.
We got 8 minutes and 38 seconds, people. We got time.
We trying to something new this time. We just gonna see how our speed is, how we can get quick on our feet. We trying something new.
Yeah, pivot, dance, move, ball. Let's do this.
I like this next part.
Okay, here we go. Today's leadership lesson. I told you earlier, it was a lesson my dad taught me years and years ago, and it was a real simple sentence, and that sentence is this: run to your customers with bad news, but walk to them with good news. Right? And so what that point is, if something's going wrong, you better hurry up and let people know. And that's true whether we're talking about the staff inside, whether we're talking about your spouse at home, whether we're talking about your actual customers, right? Good news can wait. Good news can find its own way, right? But bad news needs to be nipped in the bud quickly.
Yep. I think it's just boils down to addressing the elephant in the room in a actually like a compassionate way. Because I think when clients or anybody, you surprised by something or it already has exploded or boiled over, your reaction to it is a little bit differently versus if it was placed in front of you with an explanation. You're going to respond completely. You're going to be like, I understand that now. I'm calm. Or you can even process it better. Or you just might want to only just take it in and then you can respond later to it versus something that already happened and you feel that it can't be reversed or backed out of, which most things can be corrected. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not brain surgery, people.
That's true.
No one's dying.
No one's dying.
No
right?
one's dying.
It's important. Yep. But it's not that important, right? Relative to the pantheon of things that are.
Even, have you ever asked somebody, you want the good news or the bad news first?
Sure.
I always give people the bad news first. Always.
Like you want to end it on a high note.
Yeah, right. I always do. It's like, I'd rather address a situation or tell someone something before you're asking. Because it's almost like my answer, if you ask me something, is more of an excuse versus an explanation, which that's what it is.
Oh, I like that.
An explanation and an excuse are two different things.
Very much
They are two different, and I think that's good. Your daddy gave you a life lesson, so he must have been a good leader.
He was a good leader.
He's a good leader.
He said he was a good man.
So you got to lead in your life, too.
He was a good man. So,
I like
love that dude.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the other one thing. Remember, and I wrote it down?
Yes.
So,
no, this is the next week.
Oh, that's the next week.
Listen, people, we're ahead of ourselves.
So
right
when
now.
I told Terry let's plan, I made him plan for next week.
Next
too.
week,
He ain't getting out of this. See what I'm saying?
Now whether we remember to look at
now
this
whether we
page,
look at the book
totally
next week,
different.
that's something different. But yeah, okay.
We should move that to the next week.
We're gonna move that to the next week file. We're gonna move it to the next week file.
But yeah, that's a good lesson.
That's a
too.
good. Oh,
and
that's gonna be good.
I'm excited about that lesson.
I like this. Now, you know how Terry likes to make stories up, y'all? So this one, he is not making up.
It's true.
It personally really happened to him. And actually not that long ago. It's a little sad. I edited it when I heard it. So if he even try to start with someone, that mean don't leave that out. Don't say that. So I'm gonna let Terry tell his story.
So yeah, because of this conversation we were having about the education piece and how people get in accidents, Dakota said, when was the last time you got in an accident?
Yep.
And I said, well, Dakota, it was April 30th, 2018. And I know that because I was driving home from a really fun event where it was kind of an IT conference that I was at all day. And as I had to stop, I had to pick up some pizza, right? Because my daughter had some friends over and we had to feed the people.
Okay.
And so out by my house, there's a real long bendy turn. And so as I was...
Not a roundabout.
It was not a roundabout, no, just a turn.
Okay.
And as I was coming around this turn, coming up to this corner, I saw this Ford Escape coming like super fast. Like, I was like, whoa, this dude is barreling. And I was looking and I noticed he was coming into that turn super wide too.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'm gonna get smashed into. So I veered left. I went into his lane. And I was like kind of high-fiving myself because I avoided the accident. I was all excited. And then I heard this weird crunching noise. And I was like, did I just hit something? Like, it didn't even dawn on me because I thought I was clear.
Okay.
And the crunching noise was him smashing into the back end of my car.
So you So you didn't have a head on with him, but when you see my camera. So this Terry and this other man. So originally you were gonna do this.
Yes.
But because you went around him, it went like this.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly
you
right.
went in his lane because he was more so in your lane. So then he kind of just. Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. That could have been way worse.
I could be way
Avoided
dead.
a head-on.
You avoided a head-on collesion.
I could have been dead.
So just
I saved his life.
You saved his life, and then all you had was back end damage. But that's the rest of the story.
But how was the car?
But the car car was a little jacked up, but it came out okay.
Okay.
Right. So, and I'm a fairly caring fella. So when this happened, I went to check on him, right? Because that's who I am.
Ooh.
So this dude was hamified.
Oh,
And he
wow.
was young and he was drunk, and a good friend of his had just killed himself that day.
Oh, no.
So he was out doing stuff he shouldn't have been doing.
His head wasn't even in the right space.
He had no idea. He was sitting at his car crying. A lady drove up and said, "Are you okay?" I turned around to follow him because I knew he was going to get in an accident with somebody.
Oh,
And
wow.
she came, she's like, I watched him driving. I knew this was going to be a problem. Gave me her number. The cops came. They talked to him for about 5 minutes. They came over and talked to me and said, we got to haul his butt to jail.
Right.
The tow truck's going to come and get your car.
Right.
And, the rest of the story, the process of dealing with the insurance company from that point was exactly what Dakota talked about. I called the agent the next day. They had already towed the car to a dealership. They knew who my agency was, so they knew that there was a dealership local that serviced their customers well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a real easy transition for that. Plus, I had a Dodge, so taking it to the Chrysler dealership was easy to do. And it took about 34 days. Now, this was the fun part.
Okay.
We told the agent that we want the car set up the same way. I said the agent, I ain't naming any names.
I know, but I got my hand ready to go.
No, I ain't naming any names.
I got it ready. I got it ready, Jamie.
I'm not even gonna hint at who it was today. So, I'm not doing it. I got jokes, but I'm not doing it.
It wasn't here.
No,
Okay.
it was not here.
No,
This was before it. I found out that next day that we did not have rental on that car.
On that one.
We had
vehicle.
rental on the other car.
Yep.
Right? But we didn't have rental on that car.
And like I just said,
That's not effective or helpful.
elected coverage.
But
in Terry's defense, from the story I heard, he just said, he asked for the same coverages on both vehicles. So I'm just gonna leave that at that. I ain't getting involved in that. I wasn't in that office.
That's not how you. Yeah,
I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I'm gonna say
Listen,
that.
people. Let's be honest. Nobody reads these policies. We don't read those things. Like, okay, there's 10% of you who do. I know who you are. Look at Jamie got her
Jamie put her
hand
hand
up.
I always read mine.
Everybody who don't get 74%, they read. They read the policy.
That could be it. Hey, I'm looking at the time. We got 10 seconds left.
We do.
You know what time it is?
It's good. Oh, is it Paul's face?
It's time for Paul's
it's
Face.
Paul's face.
We got
Oh.
TEDx Detroit coming up on November 10th, and we're gonna give it this. Rock that.